as a country among many, but as a unique moral force, a model for humanity, and sometimes even a global guardian. This belief has a name. It is called American exceptionalism. But is it a historical reality, a powerful myth, or a political tool? And more importantly, is America the only country that sees itself as exceptional? Today, we explore the history, meaning, and consequences of American exceptionalism, and briefly compare it with other forms of exceptionalism around the world. What is American exceptionalism? At its core, American exceptionalism is the belief that the United States is fundamentally different from and superior to other nations. This difference is usually explained in three ways. First, unique origins. America was founded not on ethnicity or monarchy, but on ideas, liberty, equality, and democracy. Second, a special mission. The belief that America has a responsibility to spread freedom, democracy, and human rights. And third, moral superiority. The idea that American values are universally valid and morally correct. Unlike empires of the past, America does not see itself as a conqueror, but as a liberator. Whether this self-image matches reality is a question history keeps asking. Religious roots. City upon a hill. The roots of American exceptionalism go back to 1630, long before the United States even existed. A Puritan leader named John Winthrop gave a sermon aboard a ship sailing to the New World. He declared, "We shall be as a city upon a hill. The eyes of all people are upon us." This was not just poetry, it was theology. The Puritans believed they were chosen by God to build a moral example for the world. Failure would bring divine punishment. Success would prove divine favor. This religious belief slowly transformed into a secular national identity, the idea that America had a special destiny. Even today, American presidents often use religious language when speaking about the nation's global role. Exceptionalism in the American Revolution. The American Revolution of 1776 gave exceptionalism a political foundation. Unlike revolutions in France or Russia, the American Revolution was not about destroying society, it was about preserving liberty. The Declaration of Independence proclaimed, "All men are created equal." This was revolutionary, not just politically, but philosophically. America presented itself as the first modern democracy, a living experiment in freedom. To many Americans, this meant their nation was not just another state, but a new chapter in human history. A country born to show the world how freedom should work. Manifest destiny and expansion. In the 19th century, American exceptionalism took a more dangerous turn. It became manifest destiny, the belief that America was destined by God to expand from the Atlantic to the Pacific. This belief justified the displacement of Native Americans, wars with Mexico, and territorial expansion. Expansion was not seen as aggression, it was seen as progress. Civilization versus savagery, freedom versus backwardness. Exceptionalism now justified power, not just principles. And this pattern would repeat itself globally in the 20th century. Cold War exceptionalism. After World War II, American exceptionalism became global. During the Cold War, the United States positioned itself as the leader of the free world against communism. This belief justified military alliances like NATO, wars in Korea and Vietnam, and interventions in Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia. America was not invading, it was defending freedom. Presidents from Truman to Reagan described the U.S. as the last hope of mankind. Yet critics argue that exceptionalism often blinded America to its own contradictions, supporting dictators while preaching democracy. Exceptionalism after September 11, 2001. After the attacks of September 11, 2001, American exceptionalism returned with renewed force. The War on Terror was framed as a moral struggle between good and evil. Interventions in Afghanistan and Iraq were justified not only for security, but for spreading democracy. President George W. Bush famously said, "America is the beacon of freedom in the world." Yet the outcomes, instability, civilian casualties, and prolonged wars led many to question whether exceptionalism had become dangerously self-righteous. Other forms of exceptionalism. America is not alone. Many nations believe they are exceptional. China speaks of a civilizational state with a 5,000-year history and a unique governance model. Russia views itself as the protector of traditional values and a distinct Eurasian civilization. France promotes cultural exceptionalism through language and secularism. Israel holds a religious historical sense of chosenness. Even Pakistan in its early years saw itself as an ideological state founded on moral purpose. Exceptionalism is not unique, it is human. What matters is whether it leads to cooperation or domination. Conclusion. American exceptionalism has inspired democracy, innovation, and hope, but it has also justified war, intervention, and moral double standards. Perhaps the real question is not whether America is exceptional, but whether any nation should believe it stands above history, above law, and above accountability. True leadership may lie not in claiming moral superiority, but in recognizing shared human responsibility.